There is a specific kind of fear that only sets in when you are deep in the wilderness, miles from civilization, with nothing but a thin layer of nylon between you and the unknown. Tonight, we're stepping out of the firelight and into the true darkness of the woods. Whether it's the shape in the trees that vanished when you turned your flashlight on, or the fire that wouldn't stay lit, you are about to understand why some places are meant to stay empty. Let the stories begin. Story 1. The forest got quiet. Not normal quiet, not peaceful. The kind of quiet that feels like something just told everything else to stop. My name's Ethan Cole, and this happened in northern Montana during a solo camping trip I took last fall, just a few days off-grid to clear my head. Nothing extreme, nothing risky, at least that's what I thought going in. I had done trips like this before, so I wasn't worried. Packed light, set up near a small clearing, close enough to a trail, but far enough that I wouldn't hear other people. At first, nothing seemed wrong. The air was cold but clean, the trees steady, the kind of silence that helps you think. I set up my tent, built a small fire, ate something simple, and just sat there watching the light fade between the trees. Everything felt normal, too normal. The kind of calm that makes you drop your guard without realizing it. Night came slowly, the sky darkening behind the tree line, shadows stretching longer across the ground. I crawled into the tent around 10:30, zipped it up, turned off my lantern, and just listened. Wind through the trees, occasional movement in the distance, nothing unusual. Then, something changed. The forest went still, completely still. No wind, no insects, no distant movement. My chest tightened just a little. "Okay," I whispered. "That's weird." I told myself it was normal. Maybe the temperature dropped. Maybe everything just settled. But it didn't feel like that. It felt controlled, like the silence wasn't natural, like it had been placed there. I lay still, staring at the inside of the tent, trying to ignore it. Then, I heard it. A step, outside, slow, measured, my breath caught. "Probably an animal," I whispered. I stayed still, listened. Another step. Same pace, same weight. Not light like a deer, not heavy like a bear. Just deliberate. My chest tightened more. "Hey," I called out. My voice sounded smaller than I expected. No response. The steps stopped. Silence again. Then, a soft shift. Like something adjusting its position. Right outside the tent. My breathing got shallow. Okay, I whispered. I reached for my flashlight, turned it on slowly, aimed it at the tent wall. Nothing, just the fabric. No shadow, no movement. I exhaled slightly. Just imagination. I muttered. I turned the light off again, lay back down, tried to relax. Then, I heard it again. This time, closer, right next to the tent. My chest tightened hard. "No," I whispered. I turned the flashlight on again, faster this time, aimed it at the wall. Still nothing. No shadow, no shape, just empty fabric. My stomach dropped. "That's not possible," I whispered. I held the light steady, waiting, watching. Nothing moved. I turned it off again, slowly, carefully. Then, I heard it, right behind me, a step, inside the tent. My entire body locked. My breath caught in my throat. "No," I whispered. I didn't turn. I couldn't. The space inside the tent felt different now, smaller, like something else was occupying it. My heart was pounding, loud, fast. Then, I felt it, a shift in the air, close, too close, right behind my shoulder. My breathing was shallow now. "Don't move," I whispered to myself. "Don't move." The silence pressed in around me. Then, slowly, I heard breathing. Not mine. Slower, deeper, matching my rhythm, but slightly off. My chest tightened painfully. "No," I whispered. I reached for the flashlight again, slowly, my hand shaking slightly, and flipped it on. I turned, fast. The tent was empty, completely empty. My breath came out uneven. Okay, I whispered. You're fine. I scanned every corner. Nothing, no movement, no shape. I exhaled slowly, turned the light off again, lay back down. Then, I heard it. Outside again, the same steps, same pace. My stomach dropped. No, I whispered. I turned the light back on, aimed it at the wall, and this time I saw it, a shadow, standing just outside, tall, still. My breath caught. Who's there? I asked. My voice barely steady. No response. The shadow didn't move, didn't shift, just stood there. Then, slowly, it leaned closer. My chest tightened hard. The fabric of the tent didn't move, but the shadow did. My breathing got faster. That's not right, I whispered. I scrambled for the zipper, pulled it open, fast, stepped out of the tent, flashlight raised. Nothing. Empty clearing. Fire burned low, trees still, no movement, no sound. My chest tightened painfully. No, I whispered. I turned slowly, scanning the area. Nothing. Completely empty. I stepped back toward the tent, slowly, cautiously, looked inside. Empty. Just my sleeping bag, my gear, nothing else. My breathing was uneven. Okay, I whispered. You're fine. I zipped it back up. Sat outside for a while, watching, listening. Nothing happened. Eventually, I went back in, lay down again, tried to sleep. I don't know how long I stayed awake, but at some point, I must have drifted off, because when I opened my eyes, it was still dark. My chest tightened immediately. I checked my watch. 10:32 p.m. My stomach dropped. No, I whispered. That was the exact time I went to sleep. I hadn't moved forward at all. The fire outside, still burning the same way, the same shadows, the same silence. My breathing got shallow. That's not possible, I whispered. Then I heard it again, a step, outside the tent, same pace, same rhythm. My chest tightened painfully. No, I whispered. The zipper moved, slowly, from the outside. My breath caught. The opening widened, inch by inch. I didn't move. I couldn't. The flashlight sat next to my hand, but I couldn't reach for it. Then, a voice, low, calm, right outside the tent. You didn't leave. My stomach dropped. I didn't answer. I couldn't. The voice came again, slightly closer. So you stayed. My chest tightened harder. Stayed where? I whispered, my voice shaking. Silence. Then, the zipper closed again, slowly, completely. The steps moved away, fading into the trees. The forest stayed silent. I didn't sleep after that. I packed up at first light, left immediately, didn't look back, didn't stop. Just drove until I reached the main road. Everything felt normal again. Birds, wind, sound. But here's the part I can't explain. When I checked my watch again, it was still 10:32 p.m. And sometimes, when I try to sleep, I hear it again. That zipper, slow, opening, and a voice, just outside, asking the same thing. Why didn't I leave when I had the chance? And honestly, I don't think I ever actually left that campsite. I think I just stepped out of the tent for a while. Story 2. The fire burned lower than it should have, like something was pulling the heat away from it, instead of letting it spread. My name's Caleb Turner, and this happened in Colorado, deep in a forest area, about an hour past the last gas station. The kind of place where your phone loses signal long before you even start thinking about setting up camp. It was supposed to be a simple weekend trip with 2 friends, Mason and Tyler. Nothing extreme, just hiking during the day and camping at night, the kind of trip we'd done before without any problems. At first, nothing seemed wrong. We set up camp in a small clearing, surrounded by trees on all sides, built a fire, unpacked our gear, and just relaxed. The air was cold but manageable, the kind of chill that makes the fire feel good instead of necessary. We talked for a while, joked around, ate some food, everything normal. But then, something shifted. It wasn't obvious at first, just a feeling, like the forest around us had settled. The wind stopped completely. No rustling leaves, no distant sounds. My chest tightened just a little. "You feel that?" I asked. Mason looked up. "Yeah, it got quiet," he said. Tyler shrugged. Probably just the wind dying down. Maybe he was right. That's what I told myself. But it didn't feel like wind. It felt intentional. Then I noticed the fire. The flames weren't moving the way they should. They flickered, but not freely, like something was holding them in place. My stomach tightened slightly. "That's weird," I muttered. Mason leaned closer. "Looks like it's struggling," he said. Tyler tossed another piece of wood in. The flames should have flared up, but they didn't. They stayed low, controlled. My chest tightened more. "Okay," I whispered. "That's not normal." Then we heard it. A sound from the trees. A step, slow, measured. My breath caught. We all went quiet. "Probably an animal," Tyler said, his voice a little less confident now. Another step. Same pace, same distance. Not random, not wandering, moving toward us. My chest tightened hard. "Hey," Mason called out. No response. The steps stopped. Silence again. Then, another sound, closer. My breathing got shallow. "That's too close," I whispered. Tyler grabbed his flashlight, turned it on, aimed it toward the trees. Nothing, just trunks, shadows, stillness. "I don't see anything," he said. My stomach tightened more. "That doesn't mean it's not there," I whispered. We sat there for a moment, no one speaking, just listening. The fire, still low, still controlled. Then, Tyler stood up. "I'm gonna check it out," he said. "No," I said immediately. "Don't." He shrugged. "It's probably nothing." He stepped toward the trees, flashlight steady. My chest tightened painfully. "Tyler," I called out. He didn't stop. He stepped past the edge of the clearing. The light from his flashlight moved between the trees, then stopped. "You see anything?" Mason asked. No response. My stomach dropped. "Tyler," I called out. Silence. The flashlight beam stayed in place, not moving. My breathing got faster. "That's not right," I whispered. Mason stood up. "I'm going after him," he said. "No," I said again. "Wait." But he was already moving. He grabbed his own light and followed the same path. My chest tightened harder. "Mason," I called out. He disappeared into the trees. The clearing felt smaller now, the fire still low, the silence heavier. I sat there, listening, waiting, trying to hear something, anything. Then I heard it, footsteps, coming back. My chest loosened slightly. Finally, I whispered. I stood up. "You guys good?" I called out. The footsteps got closer. Same pace, same rhythm, but something felt off. They were too even, too consistent. My stomach tightened again. "Mason?" I called. No answer. The footsteps reached the edge of the clearing, and then Mason stepped out, alone. My chest tightened. "Where's Tyler?" I asked. Mason didn't answer right away. He just stood there, looking at me. His face looked normal, but something about his expression felt wrong, slightly off. "He's fine," he said. My stomach dropped. "Where is he?" I asked. Mason stepped closer. "He's fine," he repeated. My chest tightened more. "That doesn't answer the question," I said. He tilted his head slightly, slow, deliberate. "You don't need to worry about him," he said. My breath caught. "What do you mean I don't need to worry about him?" I asked. He didn't respond, just stood there. Then I noticed something. His breathing. It wasn't matching his chest. My stomach dropped. "No," I whispered. He stepped closer again. "You should stay by the fire," he said. My chest tightened painfully. "Where's Tyler?" I asked again, my voice shaking now. Mason's expression didn't change. "He stayed," he said. My breath caught. "Stayed where?" I asked. No answer, just that same look, that same stillness. Then I heard it. Behind me, a step. Close. Too close. I turned quickly. Nothing there. Just the fire. Still low. Still controlled. My chest tightened hard. I turned back toward Mason. He was closer now. I hadn't seen him move. "You should stay," he said again. My breathing got shallow. "No," I whispered. I stepped back. He didn't follow, just watched. Then I noticed something else. The fire, the flames, were leaning, not toward the wind, but toward him. My stomach dropped. "That's not right," I whispered. Mason's head tilted slightly more. "It's warmer here," he said. My chest tightened painfully. "No," I whispered. I grabbed my bag, didn't pack anything else, just grabbed it and backed away, slowly, toward the edge of the clearing. Mason didn't move, didn't follow, just watched. "You're leaving?" he asked. My breath caught. "Yeah," I said, my voice barely steady. He nodded slowly. "You shouldn't have stayed this long," he said. My stomach dropped. "What does that mean?" I asked. No answer, just silence. I turned and ran, didn't look back, didn't stop, just ran until I reached the trail, then the car, then the road. I drove until sunrise, didn't stop once. I tried calling Tyler later, no answer. Tried Mason, same thing. I reported it, told them everything. They searched the area, found the campsite, found our gear, but no sign of either of them. And here's the part that doesn't make sense. When they showed me the photos, there were only 2 sleeping bags at the site. Mine and one more. No third. No sign Tyler had ever been there. And sometimes, when I sit in silence, I hear it again. That fire, crackling low, controlled, and a voice telling me the same thing. That I stayed too long. And honestly, I don't think they ever left that clearing. I think something else walked out instead. Story 3. The map showed a trail that didn't exist on any of the signs, and somehow we followed it anyway. My name's Ryan Carter, and this happened in Oregon, deep in a forest park, where the trees grow so close together that even during the day the light feels dim, like it has to force its way through. It was supposed to be a simple overnight trip with my brother Jake. Nothing serious, just hiking a few miles in, setting up camp, and heading back the next morning. At first, nothing seemed wrong. We followed the marked trail, past the usual signs, crossed a small stream, everything exactly how it should be. Around late afternoon, we stopped to check the map on Jake's phone, just to make sure we were still on track. That's when we saw it. A trail marked slightly off to the side, not on any of the physical signs, just on the digital map. "That's weird," I said. Jake shrugged. "Might be a shortcut." I looked around. No visible path, just trees. My chest tightened slightly. "I don't see anything there," I said. He stepped closer, looking at the screen. "It's right here," he said. He pointed, then took a step forward, into what looked like nothing. And that's when it appeared. The path, narrow, faint, like it had been hidden until we looked for it. My stomach tightened. "Okay, that's not normal," I whispered. Jake laughed it off. Probably just overgrown. Maybe he was right. That's what I told myself. So we followed it. At first, nothing seemed wrong. The trail was tight, barely wide enough to walk through, branches brushing against us, the ground uneven, but it was still a path, still something you could follow. Then, it got quieter. The usual forest sounds, gone. No birds, no wind, just silence. My chest tightened more. "You hear that?" I asked. Jake nodded slowly. "Yeah, it's dead quiet." We kept walking. The light got dimmer. Not because the sun was setting, just less light reaching us. My breathing got a little heavier. "Maybe we should head back," I said. Jake stopped, turned around. The path behind us was gone, completely gone, just trees. My stomach dropped. "No," I whispered. Jake frowned. That's not funny, he said. I'm not joking, I said. We both stared at where the path should have been. Nothing. No opening. No sign we had come from anywhere. My chest tightened hard. Okay, I whispered. We just keep going forward. Jake nodded. Yeah, it has to lead somewhere. So we kept moving. The path ahead, still there. Narrow, faint. The silence, heavier now, pressing. Then we heard it. A step, behind us. My breath caught. We both froze. Did you hear that? Jake whispered. I nodded slowly. Another step, same pace, same distance, following us. My chest tightened painfully. Hello? Jake called out. No response. The steps stopped. Silence again. Then, closer. My breathing got shallow. We're not alone, I whispered. Jake turned his flashlight on, aimed it behind us. Nothing, just trees, shadows, no movement. I don't see anything, he said. My stomach tightened more. That doesn't mean it's not there, I whispered. We kept walking, faster now. The steps followed, same rhythm, same distance, never closer, never further, just there. Then the path widened suddenly, opening into a small clearing. My chest loosened slightly. Finally, I whispered. In the center of the clearing, there was a campsite, a tent, a fire pit. My stomach dropped. What? I whispered. Jake stepped closer. Someone's been here, he said. The tent looked used. Recently. The fire pit, still warm. My chest tightened. That's not good, I whispered. Then I noticed something. The backpack, sitting near the tent. It looked familiar, too familiar. My breath caught. Jake, I said slowly. He turned. What? I pointed. That's yours. His expression changed instantly. No, it's not, he said. But he stepped closer anyway. Looked at it. My chest tightened painfully. It was his. Same color, same gear attached, same everything. That's not possible, he whispered. My stomach dropped. You're wearing yours, I said. He looked down at his back. Still there. My breathing got shallow. No, I whispered. Jake reached out slowly, touched the second backpack. It was real, solid. My chest tightened more. We need to leave, I said immediately. He nodded. Yeah. Now. We turned back toward the path. It was still there. Narrow, faint. We started walking, fast. The steps behind us started again. Same rhythm, same distance. My heart was racing now, loud, fast. Then I noticed something. The path looked the same, the same tree, the same rock, repeating. My stomach dropped. We're not moving, I whispered. Jake stopped, looked around. His face tightened. No, we are, he said, but his voice wasn't convinced. Then we heard it, ahead of us, footsteps, same rhythm, same pace. My chest tightened painfully. That's not possible, I whispered. We were being followed from both directions. My breathing got shallow. What do we do? Jake asked. I didn't answer. I didn't know. Then the path split, two directions, both identical. My stomach dropped. No, I whispered. The footsteps behind us, closer now. The ones ahead, matching. My chest tightened hard. Pick one, Jake said. I hesitated for a second, then pointed left. That one. We ran. The path narrowed again. The steps followed. Then, suddenly, we broke through, out of the trees, back onto the main trail. My chest loosened slightly. We made it, I whispered. I turned to Jake. He wasn't there. My stomach dropped. Jake? I called out. No response. I turned back toward the trees. The path, gone, completely gone, just trees. My breathing got faster. Jake, I shouted. Silence. No footsteps, no movement, nothing. I waited, called out again. Nothing. I stayed there for a while, hoping he'd come out. He didn't. I went back to the ranger station, reported it. They searched for days, found nothing. No trail, no campsite, no second backpack, nothing. And here's the part I can't explain. When I checked the map later, that trail was gone, completely gone. And sometimes, when I'm alone, I hear it again. Those steps, same rhythm, same pace, and I can't shake the feeling that Jake didn't get lost. I think he just took the other path, and whatever was following us didn't need both of us to make it out. Story 4. The lake looked calm, too calm, like it wasn't reacting to anything around it, not even the wind. My name's Daniel Brooks, and this happened during a camping trip in upstate New York, a place a friend recommended because it was quiet, remote, and had a small lake nearby where you could fish or just sit and relax. It was supposed to be a solo trip, just me, a tent, and a couple days away from everything. At first, nothing seemed wrong. I set up camp near the edge of the lake, close enough to hear the water, but far enough that I wouldn't have to deal with bugs constantly. The air was cool, the trees steady, everything exactly how you'd expect. I built a fire, cooked something simple, and just sat there watching the surface of the lake. It didn't move, not even a ripple. My chest tightened just a little. No wind, I muttered. That's what I told myself. But even without wind, water moves, slightly, always. This didn't. It just stayed still. I shrugged it off, focused on the fire instead. Night came slowly, the sky darkened, the trees turned into shadows, and the lake disappeared into black. I crawled into my tent around 11, zipped it up, turned off my lantern, and just listened. At first, nothing seemed wrong. The usual sounds, insects, distant movement, the faint crackle of the fire outside. Then, something changed. The insects stopped, completely. My chest tightened slightly. "Okay," I whispered. "That's weird." The fire, still crackling, but everything else, silent. Then, I heard it, a splash, from the lake. My breath caught. "Probably a fish," I whispered. I stayed still, listened. Another splash, same spot, same sound. My chest tightened more. "That's not random," I muttered. I sat up slowly, grabbed my flashlight, turned it on. The beam cut through the darkness, reached the edge of the lake. The surface, still. No ripples, no movement. My stomach dropped. "No," I whispered. I turned the light off, sat there in the dark, listening. Then, another splash, same sound, same distance. My breathing got shallow. "That's not possible," I whispered. I zipped the tent open slightly, just enough to see outside. The lake, black, flat, no movement. Then, I saw it. A shape, standing in the water. My breath caught. It was far out, too far to make out clearly, but it was there, still, upright. My chest tightened painfully. "Hello?" I called out, my voice barely steady. No response. The shape didn't move, didn't react, just stood there. Then, slowly, it stepped forward. The water didn't react, no ripples, no sound. My stomach dropped. "No," I whispered. I pulled the zipper shut immediately, my hands shaking slightly. "That's not real," I whispered. I sat there, breathing uneven, trying to calm down. Then, I heard it. Footsteps, outside the tent. My chest tightened hard. "No," I whispered, slow, measured, circling. My breathing got shallow. "Hey," I called out. No response. The steps continued, then stopped, right next to the tent. Silence. Then, a hand, pressing against the fabric. My breath caught, the shape of it, clear against the tent wall. My chest tightened painfully. "Who's there?" I asked. No answer. The hand stayed there. Then, slowly, it dragged downward. My breathing got faster. "No," I whispered. I grabbed the flashlight, turned it on, aimed it at the spot. Nothing. No hand, no shadow, just fabric. My stomach dropped. "That's not possible," I whispered. I turned the light off again. Then, I heard it, behind me, inside the tent. A soft movement. My entire body locked. My breath caught in my throat. "No," I whispered. I didn't turn. I couldn't. The space behind me felt occupied, like something was sitting there, watching. My heart was pounding now, loud, fast. Then I heard it, water, dripping. My chest tightened hard, drip, slow, controlled, drip, right behind me. I closed my eyes for a second. "Don't move," I whispered to myself. "Don't move." The dripping stopped. Silence again. Then a whisper, right next to my ear. "You saw it." My stomach dropped. I turned, fast, flashlight on. The tent empty, completely empty. My breathing came out uneven. Okay, I whispered. "You're fine." I scanned every corner. Nothing, no movement, no sound. I exhaled slowly, turned the light off, lay back down. Then I heard it again, the splash from the lake. Same spot, same sound. My chest tightened painfully. I didn't look. I couldn't. I stayed in the tent until morning. Didn't sleep, didn't move, just waited. When the sun came up, everything looked normal. The lake, calm, but not perfectly still anymore. Small ripples, natural movement. I packed up immediately. Didn't eat, didn't stay, just left. I walked back to my car, drove out, didn't stop until I reached the highway. I told myself it was just my imagination, that I was tired, that I saw something that wasn't there. But here's the part I can't explain. When I got home, I unpacked my gear. My sleeping bag was damp. Not from rain, not from condensation, just damp. Like something wet had been inside the tent with me. And sometimes, when I close my eyes at night, I hear it again. That same splash, same distance, same rhythm. And I can't shake the feeling that whatever was in that lake didn't stay there. And honestly, I don't think it needed the water to follow me. Story 5. The footprints were already there when I woke up, circling the tent, but none of them led away. My name's Grant Holloway, and this happened during a solo camping trip in northern Arizona, out past the last marked trail where the ground turns dry and cracked and the trees thin out just enough that the sky feels too open at night. I had picked the spot because it was isolated, quiet, the kind of place where you don't expect to see anyone for miles. At first, nothing seemed wrong. I set up camp just before sunset, pitched my tent near a cluster of rocks to block the wind, built a small fire, and ate something quick. The evening felt normal, calm, the sky clear, stars starting to show through as the light faded. I remember thinking how still everything felt, but not in a bad way, just peaceful. Night came slow, and then all at once, I crawled into the tent around 10:45, zipped it up, turned off my lantern, and lay there listening. The usual sounds were there, wind brushing across the ground, something moving far off, nothing close. I closed my eyes, started drifting, and that's when I heard it, a step, outside. My eyes opened immediately, my chest tightened just a little. "Probably an animal," I whispered. I stayed still, listened. Another step, same pace, same weight, not light, not random, deliberate. My breathing got slightly heavier. "Hey," I called out. My voice sounded smaller than I expected. No response. The step stopped, silence again. Then, a soft shift, like something adjusting its position. Close, too close. My chest tightened more. I reached for my flashlight, turned it on slowly, aimed it at the tent wall. Nothing, no shadow, no movement, just fabric. I exhaled slightly. "You're fine," I muttered. I turned the light off again, lay back down. Then, the steps started again. This time, slower, closer. My heart started picking up. "No," I whispered. I turned the flashlight on again, faster, scanned the walls. Still nothing, no shadow, no shape. My stomach dropped. "That's not right," I whispered. I held the light steady, waited. Nothing moved. I turned it off again. Then I heard it, right behind me, inside the tent, a soft shift. My entire body locked, my breath caught in my throat. "No," I whispered. I didn't turn. I couldn't. The air inside the tent felt heavier now, like it wasn't just me in there anymore. Then I felt it, a slight movement in the ground, like something had shifted its weight. Close, too close. My breathing was shallow now. "Don't move," I whispered to myself. "Don't move." Then a slow exhale, not mine. My chest tightened painfully. I grabbed the flashlight, flipped it on, turned fast. The tent was empty, completely empty. My breath came out uneven. "Okay, okay," I whispered. I scanned every corner. Nothing, no movement, no sound. I turned the light off again, lay back down. Didn't close my eyes, just stared into the dark. Eventually, the sound stopped, completely. The night went still again. I don't know when I fell asleep, but I must have, because when I woke up, it was morning, sunlight coming through the tent fabric. My chest loosened slightly. "Okay, you're fine," I muttered. I unzipped the tent slowly, stepped outside, and froze. Footprints, all around the tent. My stomach dropped. "No," I whispered. They circled it, perfectly, step by step, evenly spaced, like something had walked around it all night. My chest tightened hard. I looked closer. The prints weren't clear. Not like boots, not like animals, just impressions, slightly deeper than the ground should allow. My breathing got shallow. "That's not right," I whispered. I followed them with my eyes, looking for where they started or ended. They didn't. They just circled, over and over. No entry, no exit. My chest tightened painfully. "No," I whispered. I stepped back slowly. My foot landed inside one of the impressions. It was deeper than it should have been, like something heavier than me had made it. My stomach dropped. "Okay, pack up," I whispered. I moved quickly, grabbed my gear, shoved everything into my bag without organizing it, just wanting to leave. I didn't look at the footprints again, didn't want to. I shouldered my bag, started walking back toward the trail. The ground behind me, normal, no prints, nothing. My chest tightened more. "That doesn't make sense," I whispered. I kept walking, faster now. The sun felt too bright, the air too still. Then I heard it, behind me, a step. My heart jumped. I stopped. The step stopped. I turned slowly. Nothing there, just empty ground. My breathing got shallow. "No," I whispered. I turned forward again, took another step. Behind me, another step, same rhythm. My chest tightened painfully. "That's not possible," I whispered. I walked faster. The steps followed, perfectly timed, matching mine. Then I noticed something, my shadow, on the ground. It wasn't matching me. It lagged, slightly. My stomach dropped. "No," I whispered. I stopped. The shadow stopped. A second later, my breathing got shallow. I stepped forward, slowly. The shadow didn't move, not at first. Then it stepped, on its own. My chest tightened hard. "That's not me," I whispered. The steps behind me stopped. Silence. Then a whisper. "Close, too close." You stayed. My stomach dropped. I turned fast. Nothing there, just empty ground. The shadow, normal again. My breathing came out uneven. I didn't stop walking after that. I didn't look back again. I made it to my car, drove out, didn't stop until I hit the highway. I told myself it was just my imagination, that I was tired, that I misunderstood what I saw. But here's the part I can't ignore. When I got home, I checked my boots. The soles had those same impressions. Not dirt, not mud, just pressure marks, like something had been stepping exactly where I stepped, all the way back. And sometimes, when I walk alone, I hear it again. That second set of steps, matching mine, perfectly. And I can't shake the feeling that whatever circled that tent, didn't stay there. It just started walking with me. Story 6. The tent zipper was already open when I woke up, not wide, just enough to see the dark outside, and I know I closed it before I went to sleep. My name's Oliver Grant, and this happened in Northern California, deep in a redwood forest, where the trees are so tall they block most of the sky, and the air feels heavier than it should, like sound doesn't travel the way it normally does. It was a solo trip, just a couple nights away from everything, something I'd done before without any problems. I set up camp in a small clearing between the trees, nothing special, just flat ground and enough space to build a fire. At first, nothing seemed wrong. The forest felt quiet, but not empty, the kind of quiet that feels natural, like everything around you is just existing without needing to be heard. I made a small fire, ate something quick, and watched the light fade as the sun disappeared behind the trees. By the time I got into the tent, it was already dark, darker than it should have been for that time of night. I zipped it closed, turned off my lantern, and lay there listening. The usual sounds were there, faint wind high above, occasional movement far off, nothing close. I closed my eyes, tried to relax. Then something changed. The wind stopped completely. The air felt still. My chest tightened just a little. "Okay," I whispered. "That's weird." I stayed still, listening. Then I heard it, a soft sound, not outside, inside. My breath caught. "No," I whispered. It was subtle, like fabric shifting or something brushing against the ground. My heart started beating faster. "Probably just the tent settling," I muttered. I reached for my flashlight, turned it on slowly, scanned the inside. Nothing, just my gear, my sleeping bag, everything exactly where I left it. I exhaled slightly. "You're fine," I whispered. I turned the light off again, lay back down. Then I heard it again, this time closer, right near my feet. My chest tightened hard. "No," I whispered. I turned the flashlight on again, faster, aimed it toward the foot of the sleeping bag. Nothing, no movement, no shadow. My stomach dropped. "That's not right," I whispered. I held the light steady, waited. Nothing changed. I turned it off again. Then I felt it, a slight pressure, at the end of the sleeping bag, like something had placed its weight there. My entire body froze. My breath caught in my throat. "No," I whispered. I didn't move. I couldn't. The pressure stayed, steady. Then, slowly, it shifted, moving upward, along the sleeping bag. My breathing got shallow. "Don't move," I whispered to myself. "Don't move." The pressure stopped, just below my knees. Then, I heard it. A breath, not mine. My chest tightened painfully. It was slow, controlled, too close. Then, a whisper, faint, right above me. "You left it open." My stomach dropped. I grabbed the flashlight, flipped it on, sat up fast. The tent was empty, completely empty. My breathing came out uneven. Okay, I whispered. "You're fine." I scanned every corner. Nothing. No movement. No sound. I looked down at the zipper. It was closed. Completely closed. My chest tightened again. "No," I whispered. I reached out, touched it. It was zipped all the way. I stared at it for a moment, then lay back down slowly, turned the light off again. Then I heard it. Outside. A step. My breath caught. Another step. Same pace. Same distance. Circling the tent. My chest tightened more. "Hey," I called out. No response. The steps continued, slow, measured, then stopped, right at the zipper. Silence. Then the zipper moved, slowly, from the outside. My stomach dropped. "No," I whispered. The opening widened, just slightly, enough to let in a line of darkness. My breathing got shallow. "Who's there?" I asked. No answer. The zipper stopped moving. The opening stayed there, small, just enough to see through. I didn't look. I couldn't. Then a hand pushed through the opening. My chest tightened painfully. It wasn't clear, not fully visible, just a shape, darker than the dark around it. It didn't reach for anything, it just stayed there. Then, slowly, it pulled back. The zipper closed again. My heart was pounding now, loud, fast. I didn't sleep after that. I stayed awake, watching the zipper, waiting for it to move again. It didn't. Eventually, the sky lightened. Morning came. The forest looked normal again. The wind returned. The sounds came back. I unzipped the tent slowly, stepped outside. Everything looked the same. No footprints, no signs of anything. My chest loosened slightly. "Okay," I whispered. "You're fine." I packed up quickly, didn't stay, didn't look around too much, just got everything together and left. When I got back to my car, I checked my gear, just to make sure I hadn't lost anything. That's when I noticed it. The inside of the tent, near the zipper, there were marks, not scratches, not dirt, just slight indentations, like fingers pressing from the inside outward. My stomach dropped. "No," I whispered. I looked at the zipper again, closed, normal. But those marks, they weren't there before. And sometimes, when I'm lying in bed at night, I hear it again, that slow movement, that zipper, opening just enough, and a voice, quiet, calm, reminding me of the same thing, that I left it open. And honestly, I don't remember opening anything. I just remember something finding a way in. Story 7. The flashlight didn't light up the trees. It just stopped a few feet ahead of me, like the dark itself was blocking it. My name's Brandon Keller, and this happened during a camping trip in West Virginia, deep in a forest area that locals told me was quiet after dark, which at the time just sounded like a nice way of saying peaceful. I didn't realize what they meant until I stayed the night. It was supposed to be a simple solo trip, just one night out, clear my head, get away from everything. At first, nothing seemed wrong. I found a small clearing off the main trail, set up my tent, gathered wood, built a fire, and just sat there watching it burn as the sun slowly dropped behind the trees. The forest felt normal, wind moving through the leaves, distant sounds here and there, nothing unusual. But then, as it got darker, something shifted. The wind stopped completely. The trees went still. My chest tightened just a little. "Okay," I whispered. "That's weird." I told myself it was just the temperature dropping, things settling, but it didn't feel like that. It felt like everything had just paused. I stared into the fire for a while longer, trying to ignore it. Eventually, I stood up, grabbed my flashlight, and decided to take a short walk just around the clearing, nothing far. I clicked the flashlight on, and that's when I noticed it. The beam didn't go as far as it should. It cut through the air, then just stopped, like it hit something invisible. My stomach tightened. "That's not right," I whispered. I moved it around, same thing. The light only reached a few feet, then faded into complete darkness. Not gradual, just gone. My breathing got a little heavier. "Probably just fog," I muttered, but there was no fog. The air was clear. I took a step forward. The ground felt normal under my feet, but the space ahead of me didn't feel like it was opening up the way it should. It felt closer, like the forest was pressing in. My chest tightened more. "Okay, don't go far," I whispered to myself. I turned back toward the camp. The fire was still there, but dimmer than it should have been. My stomach dropped. "No," I whispered. I walked faster. The fire didn't get closer the way it should. It just stayed at the same distance. My breathing got shallow. "That's not possible," I whispered. I stopped. The fire still there, same distance, same size. I took a step back. It didn't move. My chest tightened painfully. "No," I whispered. Then I heard it. Behind me, a step, slow, measured. My breath caught. I turned quickly, flashlight raised. The beam stopped again, just a few feet out. Nothing visible, just darkness. My heart started racing. "Hello?" I called out. No response. Another step, closer. My chest tightened hard. "Who's there?" I asked. Silence. Then, a second set of steps, from the other side. My stomach dropped. "No," I whispered. I turned the light back and forth, the beam hitting that same invisible wall, revealing nothing beyond it. The steps, closer now, matching. My breathing got shallow. "This isn't real," I whispered. I tried moving toward the fire again. It didn't get closer. The distance stayed the same. My chest tightened painfully. "I'm not moving," I whispered. Then I looked down. My feet were moving, but the ground beneath them wasn't changing. My breath caught. "No," I whispered. The steps behind me stopped. Silence again. Then a voice, low, calm, close. "You stepped out too far." My stomach dropped. I turned again. Nothing there. Just that same wall of darkness. "What do you mean?" I asked, my voice shaking. No answer. The silence pressed in again. Then the flashlight flickered. Once, twice. Then it went out completely. My chest tightened hard. "No, no," I whispered. I hit the side of it. Nothing. Dead. The darkness around me felt thicker now, like it wasn't just the absence of light, but something else. My breathing got faster. Okay, I whispered. "Stay calm." I closed my eyes for a second, tried to focus. Then I heard it, the fire, crackling, behind me. My chest loosened slightly. "There," I whispered. I turned slowly and opened my eyes. The fire was right there, just a few feet away. My breath caught. "How?" I whispered. I stepped toward it, and this time the ground moved, the distance closed. I reached the clearing. The tent was still there. Everything looked normal. My breathing was uneven. Okay, I whispered. "You're fine." I sat down near the fire, trying to calm down. Then I noticed something. The shadows. They weren't moving with the flames. My stomach dropped. "No," I whispered. The fire flickered, but the shadows stayed still, fixed, like they weren't connected to the light. My chest tightened painfully. Then one of them moved, slowly. My breath caught. It shifted, separate from the others, stretching toward me. I stumbled back slightly. "That's not real," I whispered. The shadow stopped. Then, slowly, it returned to place. My heart was pounding now, loud, fast. I didn't sleep after that. I stayed by the fire until morning, didn't move far, didn't leave the clearing again. When the sun came up, everything looked normal. The forest, the light, the shadows, all normal. I packed up immediately, left as fast as I could, didn't stop until I reached the main road. I told myself it was just my mind, that I got disoriented, that the darkness played tricks on me. But here's the part I can't explain. When I checked my flashlight later, it worked perfectly, full battery, no issues. And sometimes, when I'm in a dark room, I notice it again, the way the light doesn't reach as far as it should, like something is standing just beyond it, stopping it from going any further. And honestly, I don't think I walked out of that forest the same way I walked in. I think I just found my way back to the clearing before whatever was out there decided to follow. Story 8. The fire kept burning even after I poured water on it, and that's when I realized the night wasn't ending the way it should. My name's Marcus Dean, and this happened during a camping trip in northern Michigan, out near a stretch of forest that borders a small, rarely visited lake, the kind of place where people go specifically because nothing ever happens there. It was supposed to be a quiet 2-night trip with a couple friends, but they backed out last minute, so I went alone anyway, figuring it'd be even more peaceful. At first, nothing seemed wrong. I got there mid-afternoon, set up my tent near a clearing, gathered wood, and built a fire before it got dark. The forest felt normal, wind moving through the trees, distant sounds here and there, everything exactly how it should be. I ate, sat by the fire, watched the sky darken, and eventually crawled into the tent around 11. I remember feeling relaxed, maybe a little too relaxed, the kind of calm that makes you stop paying attention. I zipped the tent shut, turned off my lantern, and just lay there listening. At first, nothing seemed wrong. The usual night sounds, insects, leaves shifting, something moving far off, nothing close. Then, the sounds faded, one by one, until there was nothing left. My chest tightened just a little. "Okay," I whispered. "That's weird." I stayed still, listening. Then, I heard it. The fire, still crackling. That part wasn't strange, except for one thing. I had put it out before getting into the tent. My stomach tightened. "No," I whispered. I sat up slowly, unzipped the tent just enough to look outside. The fire was burning, not low, not dying, fully burning. My chest tightened hard. "That's not possible," I whispered. I crawled out of the tent, grabbed my water bottle, and poured it directly onto the flames. The fire hissed, steam rising, but the flames didn't go out. They didn't even shrink. They stayed exactly the same. My breathing got a little heavier. "Okay, that's not right," I muttered. I grabbed more water, poured it again. Same result. The fire reacted, but didn't change. My stomach dropped. "No," I whispered. I stepped back slowly. The flames flickered, but not naturally. Too controlled, too consistent, like they were being held in place. Then, I noticed something else. The shadows around the fire weren't moving. My chest tightened painfully. The flames shifted, but the shadows stayed fixed. "That's not how that works," I whispered. I stared at them, trying to make sense of it. Then, one of the shadows moved, slowly. My breath caught. It stretched slightly, then stopped. The fire crackled, but the shadow didn't return to its place. It stayed where it had moved. My heart started racing. "No," I whispered. I stepped back further. The firelight flickered across the ground, but the shadows stayed still. Then I heard it, a step behind me. My breath caught. I turned quickly. Nothing there, just darkness beyond the clearing. My breathing got shallow. "Hello," I called out. No response. Another step, closer. My chest tightened hard. I turned the flashlight on, aimed it toward the trees. The beam cut through the darkness, but only for a few feet. Then it stopped, just stopped. My stomach dropped. "Not again," I whispered. The steps closer now, matching my position. Then, the voice, low, calm, right behind me. "You didn't put it out." My chest tightened painfully. I spun around. Nothing there, just the fire, still burning, the shadows, still wrong. "What do you mean?" I asked, my voice shaking. No answer. The silence pressed in again. Then I looked back at the fire. The flames weren't just flickering anymore. They were leaning toward me. My stomach dropped. "No," I whispered. I stepped back again. The flames followed, not physically, but the direction of the burn pointed at me. My breathing got faster. "That's not real," I whispered. Then the shadows moved again, more than one this time, slowly, stretching, separating from the objects that should have been casting them. My chest tightened hard. "No," I whispered. One of them reached the edge of the firelight and stopped. Then it stepped forward, into the light. My breath caught. It didn't disappear. It stayed, solid. My heart was pounding now, loud, fast. I backed away quickly. The fire stayed where it was, but the shadow moved toward me. I turned and ran. Didn't grab anything. Didn't look back. Just ran toward where I thought the trail was. The darkness between the trees felt thicker, heavier, like it didn't want me to move through it. My breathing was uneven, my heart racing. Then Suddenly, I broke through, back onto the trail. My chest loosened slightly. Okay, okay, I whispered. I kept moving, didn't stop until I reached my car. I drove out immediately, didn't pack up, didn't go back. I left everything there. I told myself it was just panic, that I imagined it, that I misunderstood what I saw. But here's the part I can't explain. The next day, I checked the news, local reports, anything about fires in that area. Nothing. No fire, no campsite, no sign that anything had burned at all. And sometimes, late at night, I smell it, smoke, faint, like something's still burning, even when there's nothing around. And I can't shake the feeling that I didn't leave that fire behind. I just stepped out of its light for a while. Story 9. The voice came from my radio, but I hadn't brought a radio. My name's Travis Moore, and this happened during a solo camping trip in Wyoming, out in a wide open stretch of forest where the trees are spaced far enough apart that you can see deeper into the dark than you probably should. I picked the spot because it was remote, no campsites, no trails nearby, just open land and silence, the kind of place where you feel completely alone the moment the sun goes down. At first, nothing seemed wrong. I set up my tent just before sunset, built a fire, cooked something simple, and sat there watching the light fade across the trees. The air was cold but steady, the kind of quiet that feels natural. By the time I got into the tent, it was fully dark. I zipped it closed, turned off my lantern, and lay there listening. The usual sounds were there, wind moving lightly through the trees, something shifting far off, nothing close. I closed my eyes, started to relax. Then, I heard it, a faint sound, not outside, inside the tent. My breath caught. It was low, almost like static. My chest tightened slightly. "What?" I whispered. I reached for my flashlight, turned it on, scanned the tent. Nothing, just my gear, everything where it should be. The sound stopped. I exhaled slowly. "Just your ears," I muttered. I turned the light off again, lay back down. Then it came back, louder this time, static, clearer. My chest tightened more. "No," I whispered. I sat up slowly, listening. The sound wasn't coming from outside. It was inside the tent, close, too close. Then it shifted into a voice, faint, broken, like it was struggling to come through. My breathing got shallow. "That's not possible," I whispered. I grabbed the flashlight again, turned it on, scanned every corner. Nothing, no device, no source, just the sound. Then the voice got clearer. "Hear me." My stomach dropped. "No," I whispered. I didn't answer. I couldn't. The voice continued. "You left." My chest tightened painfully. "Who is this?" I asked, my voice shaking. Silence. Then static again. Then the voice returned. "Come back." My breath caught. "Come back where?" I asked. No response. The sound cut out completely. The tent went silent again. My breathing was uneven. Okay, I whispered. "You're fine." I lay back down slowly, tried to calm down. Then I heard it. Outside. A step. My chest tightened. Another step. Same pace, same distance. Circling the tent. My breathing got shallow. "Hey," I called out. No response. The steps continued, then stopped, right at the entrance. Silence. Then the zipper moved, slowly, from the outside. My stomach dropped. "No," I whispered. The opening widened slightly, just enough to let in a line of darkness. I didn't move. I couldn't. Then the voice came again. This time, not from inside the tent, from just outside. "You didn't come back." My chest tightened painfully. "I don't know what you mean," I said, my voice barely steady. Silence. Then the zipper closed again, slowly, completely. The steps moved away, fading into the trees. The night, silent again. I didn't sleep after that. I stayed awake, watching, listening, waiting for the sound to come back. It didn't. Eventually, morning came. The forest looked normal again. The sounds returned. The light felt real. I packed up quickly, didn't stay, didn't look around too much, just left. When I got home, I unpacked my gear. Everything looked normal. Nothing missing, nothing out of place. Then, I checked my phone. My chest tightened immediately. There was a recording, saved at 2:14 a.m. I don't remember recording anything. My hands felt cold as I pressed play. Static. Then, my voice, clear. I'm heading back. My stomach dropped. Then, another voice. Not mine. Close. Too close. You already did. The recording ended. My breathing got shallow. No, I whispered. I checked the timestamp again. 2:14 a.m. That was the exact time I remember hearing the voice in the tent. My chest tightened painfully. I don't remember leaving the tent. I don't remember going anywhere. But sometimes, when I'm alone, I hear it again. That static, that voice, asking the same thing, why I didn't come back when I already had. And honestly, I don't know what it means. But I can't shake the feeling that part of me did leave that tent that night, and it never came back. The fire is dying, and the woods are quiet again. If you enjoyed our time in the dark tonight, show your support by hitting that like button. It keeps this channel alive. Subscribe to stay connected to the unknown. Rest well if you can.